down, baby, to the funky, funky, funky groove. Get down, baby. Let the light reflect upon your natural mood. Get down, baby. Your creative mood shall express itself. Get down, baby. After life and desire, there is nothing left. We're all children of the world. A hungry man in search for a hungry girl. The extreme supreme of all cannibals. The most weight and two-faced of all animals. Get down! Get down! Get down! Get down! Take my soul, baby. When you really, I can feel so much desire. Take my soul, baby. Life unfolds from my soul in a soul of fire. So get down. Just get down. Get down, baby. As the rhythm should fire through your able soul. Get down, baby. Play the board like a pro in a perfect ball. Get down, baby. To the funky, funky, funky groove. Get down, baby. Let the light reflect upon your natural mood. One can never point out the actual cause of the mysterious need in a female's heart. Man can only follow, not knowing how. His fate might erupt through his hunger cry. So get down. Get down.
There we go. Brian getting down.
Yeah.
Getting down with a little Curtis Mayfield here.
Yep.
So if you haven't already, get your orders in for the latest batch of Rhino Quadio Blu-rays. This is batch number 7 that released this past Friday.
What is that?
Well, Rhino Records isn't putting out a series of quadraphonic reissues on Blu-ray discs, and they've been releasing them in batches of 4 titles at a time. And this past Friday, they released their 7th batch. So that makes the series up to 28 quad reissued albums. Not counting the Chicago box set and the Doobies box set and the Joni Mitchell box set that also included Quadio releases. And the Deep Purple Machine Head Deluxe Edition and the outlet. A lot of quad stuff from the Warner Vaults has been making their ways out to modern formats through Rhino Records. But yeah, if you go to the Rhino.com website and go to their store, you can order that, and you can order the previous ones as well. And here it is, and it's kind of a this batch that just released this past Friday is a Black History Month themed batch, and it includes Aretha Franklin live at the Fillmore West, Curtis Mayfield Roots, Billy Cobham Spectrum, and the Spinners Pick of the Litter, which includes their hit Games People Play, which was the other song I was going to use for pre-show. But, of course, the question that was on everyone's mind when it was hinted that Spinners Pick of the Litter was going to be in the batch was, well, the Spinners had 3 quad albums. The same titled album that had I'll Be Around and Could It Be I'm Falling in Love with You, which did get a Quadio release a while ago on a previous
Interesting.
batch.
The Alice Cooper one is on the Quadio list, but it doesn't say Quadio.
Well, that's because it's kind of different. It's not part of the single album reissue Quadio series because it's a multi-disc set, but it includes the quad mix
and brand new linear notes.
Right. So they include a lot of extras.
It is quadraphonic, so
they include the quad mix in addition to all the other bonus stuff. So in that sense, they included it in the Quadio series since it has a quad mix, but it's not part of the single disc, single album, $25 disc series. So it's related to the Quadio series, but it's a little different. Kind of like the Joni Mitchell sets listed under Quadio, but it's a bit different because it's a set of 4 albums in a box. So yeah,
this is actually showing 2 discs, and the second one has.
Yeah, I didn't buy the Alice Cooper one because a while ago that quad mix got reissued on an SACD, and I have that. So and it's not
fine.
like
That's fine.
It's not one of Alice Cooper's better albums.
It doesn't even have School Out on it.
No, well, School's Out didn't get a quad mix. The only quad Alice Cooper albums were $1 Billion Babies and what was the other? A Muscle of Love, which is the set you're looking at. $1 Billion Babies is the better album of the two of them. I mean, that's got Elected on it. Hello, Hooray. Yeah. That, although I think we're all tired of songs about elections at this point anyways.
Yeah, we're done with that.
Yeah, we're no, but me and Sparky Toaster had a nice little chat. And speaking of Sparky Toaster, Mars is in the house. That was the worst transition yet.
Oh wow!
What a segue!
I'm not even trying anymore.
Hi, Sparky. I just woke up, so.
Well, Sparky's not in the house yet either, but we chatted a little during the last week, and we solved all of this country's problems. And no, kidding.
Oh wow! Oh, that's good. You know,
Yeah,
we like problem solving instead of just talking bites.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, Sparky Toaster is someone that obviously has very different opinions than me, and we can have a rational conversation, which is why it's like, it's too bad I can't, coax him into being a co-host of a different show. You know what I'd really like to do?
Well, we could talk about, should we get rid of the penny?
Absolutely.
Should we get rid of the nickel as well?
Maybe. Let's start with the penny. Let's see how that goes.
I think it'll be fine.
I saw that. Or penny.
I mean,
well,
what?
I mean, when it costs so much to make a penny, it's not even worth it.
Like
and actually, a nickel is more expensive as well. Like, get rid of them. Or what they should do is replace them with plastic. Pump it out of plastic.
Well,
you want a penny? It'll be plastic.
Well, you don't want to make them too easy to counterfeit, and B, the cost to manufacture
they could put something in it to make it detectable as a legitimate penny.
Yeah, but it wouldn't
be that difficult.
Brian.
I don't know if it's the metal or so much as the manufacturing process that might.
No, the cost to make a penny, I think, is like. It was like 1.87 cents or something. Now it's like 3 cents to make it. Okay. Okay. This is what we could do.
What's the scrap value of a penny?
If you had the original stuff, it's all copper. The original stuff is copper.
I mean a modern penny. What's the scrap value of a modern penny? Because if the scrap value goes above a penny, then we got a problem.
No,
you know what I do? If I need a washer that's large, I drill a hole in a penny.
Well, that's an old joke.
Oh.
No, I do. And like I have some gutters. I need a large washer, and I go, I'm not going to pay that for that. They're like a dime a piece or something.
Right. Penny is a penny.
So I drill a hole in it.
Washer's more than a penny. Yeah. No, I've absolutely heard that, and it's one of those semi-serious type of things. You could absolutely do that.
Sure. And I mean, it's not that difficult to drill a hole in a penny.
Although I think there might be federal laws against
that. Yeah, there's
that.
a federal law about defacing the value of money or something.
Oh, well, you still go to the storage place and get those things that squash pennies into these England.
I have a couple of those.
It's not a very well enforced rule, but
yeah, right. Yeah, it could be against loans, but who gives a fuck,
so,
right?
Honestly, what we could do, there are so many pennies that we have. I mean, you go outside, I guarantee you go outside, look around, you'll find a penny on the floor, on the ground somewhere, right? Not a problem.
We pick up pennies all the time.
Yeah, everywhere.
Hey, that's our retirement fund. Wait a minute, we are retired. Now what do we do?
The retirement supplemental income.
Okay, they say
non-taxable income.
Brian, they could stop producing penny for 4 years, and we would not have a problem with this. They're still valued. Regular pennies are still valued, but they don't.
What cracks me up over the years, once in a while, they'll call for people to turn in their pennies.
Will they?
Because they have in the past.
There have been times where there has been call for people to turn in change.
Pounds of pennies. Should I take?
Actually, I have a certificate. I think I have a certificate from the Treasury Department that says thank you for turning in your pennies.
Well, I did my part by paying a bill in pennies, so that was
right. I have like 15 pounds of pennies. Should I just take those to Coinstar someday?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
But
I really cracked me up today. There's a lot of places that won't take cash.
Huh.
They want your credit card instead.
Really? Yeah. They won't take cash?
Yeah.
Now I don't really carry cash with me anyway, but I usually have a couple bucks on me. That's not a problem, but I haven't paid in cash in a while.
Well, that has to do with, if you started up a small independent business and you buy one of those little things you connect to your phone, you can take a credit card payment. It's all easy. It's all paperless. If you start taking cash transactions, then you gotta track that.
I just tap
deposit that. Now you're not running a wireless paperless
and you also like if
anymore.
you're, let's say you're running a little you're in a craft fair or something like that, and you're taking cash as well as whatever, then you have to kind of think about security.
Right, there's that.
Where are you going to put the box in this little craft fair? The cash box.
But then again,
you want to protect it.
Any flea market you step foot on is mostly cash moving, changing hands, moving back.
Right, or these local fairs, a county fair, or whatever, where you got all these booths so they sell crap to you.
But anyways, when you thinking about it a little more, if we're going to get rid of the penny, I see why you bring up the point of the nickel as well. We may as well just drop the decimal point, the hundredths place, and just. If we
instead of selling everything at $4.99 or whatever it is, just make it $4.90.
Right.
Or make it $5 and be honest.
Does that mean
be fucking honest?
Does that mean that? No. I agree with that, but I also don't expect anyone to do that, and I understand why that won't happen, because listing something as $4.99 absolutely results in a boost in sales over listing it as $5. That bullshit works because we're dumb. So
dumbass, yeah.
So, to tell a business, you should just listen to $5, I'm basically telling a business, you should make less money because it would be more logical and I like even numbers. Which is just, why would I do that? So, but maybe we can get the gas stations to start actually listing things to the penny and drop that whole 9/10 of the cent. Who the fuck do you think you're fooling?
That's right.
Hey, Brian, you think you could bring someone on the show from a large oil-based company that I could ask what the fuck is up with the 9/10 of a cent?
I don't know of anybody in the marketing department, and they're probably assholes anyway.
All the more reason we should drag them onto the show and ridicule them about the 9/10 of a cent bullshit. I mean, when I was 5-year-old and I saw that on the side, I'm like, who the fuck do you think you're fooling? I'm 5 and I know there ain't no 9/10 of a cent coin.
Hey, it's not $4.99 and 9/10. It's fucking $5.
It is. It absolutely is. They want to fool you into thinking it's $1 less, but they don't want to give up that damn penny. Well, if we drop the penny and nickel,
fraction of a penny.
I mean, well, no, they don't want to drop. They don't want to drop that penny. Because if they didn't do the 9/10 of a cent, they'd drop the penny and they'd lose a penny on every gallon. So they 9/10 of a penny significantly reduces that penny loss over the bullshit mind games they play.
In Canada, they got rid of the penny. All right.
Right.
What they do is they round to the nearest tenth. So if it's $4.99, they will round up to $5.
And at some point, prices stop being listed as that. Like, just stop listing prices that way.
Canada dropped their penny, Singapore dropped their penny, Australia dropped their penny, New Zealand dropped their penny, and those are the things that just pop out of the top of my head.
Yeah, that's very true.
There's probably more.
Yeah.
Well, we live in a country where unsexy, unprioritized stuff is not worth the effort of making Brian's face disappear.
Right. That's magic.
It's distracting me.
I don't know why it just disappeared.
It's the green screen effect is set too much to one way, so that it at some point thinks that your face is green. It goes, okay. I don't. Your face does not look green, right? But it thinks your face. Maybe it's because the light reflecting off of your green screen onto your face is giving it just enough of that green hue.
Except the green screen is behind me.
Well, yeah, but it still makes a light reflects and moves in different directions.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's the green of the laptop.
And I think it's just the green screen canceling of the thing is screwy.
It's just kind of fucked up.
Because your face don't look that green.
Right. It just winks me out anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think it's funny, you take something and you show it, and then that thing disappears. Wait, I'm trying to show you something.
Yeah.
And it disappears.
My favorite is, it's now common in Teams for people to enable without green screen a fake background or a blur the background type of thing, which I typically do when I'm working. And now I actually set it to just kind of blur my background because I don't need to show all this. When COVID started, it was fun to show off your home to people and be like, look at my shelf of stuff. Look at my big microphone and look at my mixing board over here.
Turn your camera up so you can see more of that.
We've all seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't even give a shit.
I mean, there's some more of it.
Well, usually during Teams and stuff like that, people look at me and go, "There's a refrigerator in your background," and I'm like,
"Yeah." I actually used to do the full widescreen angle of this room in the early days of COVID. Also, this room was a bit tidier in that point in time. And as my room got less tidy, my angle got closer to.
And they go, "Did you know you have a microwave in your background?" I'm like, "No, that's not a real microwave. It's a prop. I can't. No one can touch it. Like, did you know you have a refrigerator back there?" I'm like, No, I didn't notice that big thing that's 6'1" and behind me with. I didn't notice that.
I hate tripping over that damn thing. Thanks for telling me.
I said, really? And so I get up, I go, well, let's see if it's real. I get up and I go to the fridge. I pull out something to drink. I sit back down and go, yep, it's a fridge already. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a coffee machine behind me. Really? Let me get some coffee. Just a second. I'll be right back. Because now you reminded me.
That's right.
So, it kind of reminds me. Someone had a basket of some sort in their background. And it was one of those ones that it could be a waste paper basket, it could be a recycling bin, it could be a laundry basket. And so, of course, the question was: is that a laundry basket, or is that there to throw away all your empty beer bottles into? And the guy said, "No, dude, that's my laundry basket." I didn't believe him, but I think he had empty beer bottles in there. Anyways, I'm going to talk about
So when do you want to get into espresso machines?
Espresso machines. Nah.
Mars, did you want to get on an espresso machine?
I mean, I got a new one.
And I got one too. See, so there's 2 against 1.
I mean, mine was $80, but it learning how to do something new is interesting.
Yeah.
I've never made a puck before. I've never done any of this stuff, so it's like I started this and I'm like, well, I make a big mess.
Apparently, every cheap grinder has a setting that is for espresso, but it takes a really high quality grinder to really get that fine grind just right to make a good puck.
Mine. You have to mod it a little bit. I've modded it a little bit to get it that fine, but it does pretty well. It does pretty well. So I used to have a Cuisinart. My grinder's okay.
You know what? I inherited my mom's Cuisinart coffee grinder, but it's not adjustable at all.
Oh no, mine's adjustable.
Yeah, so with the Mr. Coffee espresso machine, then I got the Mr. Coffee grinder, which is actually not bad. It's nicely adjustable, although it has settings of how many cups you want to grind.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
It falls short, so you just push it again, let it until it grinds. You can hear that it grinds nothing. You know.
Well, I'm wondering if I should just give up on pursuing.
Did you say give up on coffee? I need to leave the show. I can't be a part of the show anymore.
Not on coffee overall in general, but on pursuing effort towards better coffee.
You're still doing the pour over, right?
I've gone back to the coffee machine.
I still use my coffee machine too. Don't worry about that. I only do 1 shot of espresso a night. I do pretty good. Yeah.
My cheap $15 coffee machine brews a better cup of coffee than all my effort to do the pour over, and I can't figure out why. I mean, have you
been going through YouTube videos of the pour over?
Yes.
And how? The thing about these,
I'm doing the bloom. I let the bloom wait. I'm doing the right ratios. I'm using my scale.
Okay.
I'm doing all these things, and it comes out really bitter.
The guys that are doing the YouTube videos on making coffee, whether it's an espresso machine or a pour over or a mocha pot. These guys have to be like super OCD.
Yeah.
You go into all of this little yin yang perfection, bada 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 bada. Okay, so you said that the coffee that you're making on these machines is bitter.
On the pour over is bitter.
Is it? Are you using the same brand as you use for your percolator?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Maybe your percolator is also bitter. You just don't notice because you're used to it.
Well, no, I've actually one morning did both, had them side by side, and I absolutely preferred what the coffee machine was giving me. The coffee machine ain't doing a bloom. The coffee machine's, keeping the burner on, cooking the coffee once this, which I generally my third cup is pretty bad. So that is a problem. But I generally am happy with 2 cups in the morning anyway.
Oh, so I've been experimenting with espresso machine. So I filled the thing up, run the thing, et cetera, and then it says, you know what? I'm going to use the same grounds again and see how it does.
No.
Holy crap! Talking about, I have reused K cups. And they're a little bit weaker. Hey, it's experimenting, man.
Hey,
if
someone's got to try this for science, I guess.
For science, that's right.
Brian.
And if I didn't do it, then someone else will say, well, nobody told me, right?
Right.
And then they get the dumbass recording. Anyway, so I've reused a K cup, and it's like, okay, not as good, but still drinkable.
I did this Brian, I can't do K-cups either.
I know. I don't do that anymore. I tried it once or a couple times, and it's not as good, but it's not horrible. With the espresso machine, the second cup was like tan
What?
water or something. I mean,
Oh,
it was-
yeah, no,
had
no.
nothing, no flavor. I mean, a very slight coffee flavor. I mean, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Well, now we know.
So, anyway,
Well,
Anyway, so
Gators,
yeah.
I'm saying if you don't like pour over, you don't like pour over. You could try. It might
Well-
also be your bean. I don't
well,
so
know.
I've
my neighbor at the
tried-
beach house is into pour over.
Well, I've
And
tried
I
different
think
beans.
she likes it.
Okay.
I've tried different beans. I've tried different grinds because bitter tends to mean that you're grinding too fine, and so the water's spending too much time extracting. But if you go too coarse and then the water doesn't spend enough time extracting, then it's sour, and that's no good either. And I can't seem to find
Right.
and I've experimented with that, and I found what seemed to be the best balance, but it still tends to come out to the bitter.
There's a guy. There's a guy that does videos on the mocha pot.
Okay.
Mocha pots are nice, actually. I don't.
I'm
have
tempted
one.
to get one for the beach house.
Right. Not only is your face
But this guy,
disappearing
I mean-
and sometimes you're floating hands, but your camera has you so that only half of your face is on the.
Well, I slid off the edge.
Gators.
I slid
Gators,
off the edge.
Gators. The reason it's like this is Brian had his espresso shot twice in a row.
I
Reused
see.
his
There you
grounds.
go.
That's what happens. Don't
That's-
reuse your grounds. This will happen to
You
you.
reuse your grounds. You didn't get that daily perk that you needed, and now you're slumping over,
But
falling
actually,
asleep,
that wasn't
falling off
today.
camera.
That wasn't today. That was a week ago or so.
No.
But
And
actually,
the
I
effects
did.
are still here.
I did one run. We had a guest over for
Wow.
lunch, and I showed him the espresso machine, and I did one. You know, the number on it is 4 cups. Yeah, right.
Oh.
I have that a day.
Wait, you have 4 cup? What?
Well,
What do you mean 4
the
cup?
measurement is actually it's 4 ounces.
Oh, mine does 15 ounces. I usually do somewhere between 15 and 13 ounces in mine.
Yeah, I have a small one.
Yeah.
That's different yours and mine. So for an extra $30, you get to do more than me. But
Well,
see, you know, this is a replacement for the K cup, and I do one a day.
Okay.
No.
You know, that's all the coffee I need.
Well,
Once in a while, I get wild, really wild, and I have a second cup. But I haven't had 2 cups on a day with the espresso machine. So I made one batch of the espresso machine, and I split it between myself and my guest. And that was kind of enough. That was fine. We were using smaller cups. Usually I use the big mug.
I
Oh, you
see.
use a little.
Because usually espressos are those little like shot
Yeah, they're like
glass
2.5
cups.
ounce. I usually
Yeah.
use a latte cup with mine because
Yeah.
it's a little far away from the spout's a little far away from the drip tray, so I'm a little worried I'm gonna spill into the drip tray instead of the cup because I'm still learning this thing. So I use a latte cup, which is it's a smaller cup, but it's a light cup, so it's meant to be put espresso and then your foam in it. But you know,
So
Do you know how many ounces this latte cup is?
I think it's like 8 ounce.
So, anyways, I just kind of gone back to using the coffee machine and just like maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe
Gators,
my $15 Walmart special that's been with me since Oakland is and has like parts of the heating pad are flaking off of it, but it still works.
That's yeah. I have 2 of those in my cupboard. I don't use those, but I still run my coffee pot every day. I still have my pot a day, and then at night I'll have a little shot of espresso to go to sleep by. So
I mean, I've thought of buying like one of those better, fancier coffee machines that actually does the bloom and the proper extraction to see if maybe that would do a better job than my DIY pour over bullshit that just is not working out for me. But then again, like, do I really notice that? If I've been happy with the $15 Walmart special, why
say if you're
spend
happy,
$250 for a fancy coffee
Right.
machine?
Right.
I don't feel like that's a good
Well,
bang for
like
buck.
this espresso machine, at Walmart, the Mr. Coffee was $50. There's this other brand name, I forget what it is, but they had a smaller machine about the same size as the Mr. Coffee that was $300, and then they have the big machine that was $800. You know,
Yeah,
I'm not going to jump into espresso, you know, with a huge machine.
I wanted the $500 machine. I just couldn't justify it, and I wanted to learn how to do it. So I figured $80 is a good learning, jump into and learn what you're doing kind of thing.
Right.
You know, it's kind of a I need to test out what's going on, and they come out okay. It's trial and error. They come out okay.
Unfortunately, I forget where I saw this, Johnny, but I saw this list of different coffees, and it was, you know, had all the details of the dark, light, medium, strong, blah, blah, blah. But it also had a row of bitterness. So, like, I picked a coffee that was not bitter.
Well, I mean, coffee tends to be bitter for the most part, but it's a well-balanced bitter that tastes like a fine coffee. I think a lot of bad coffee is just because people are like, oh, well, it's supposed to be bitter, it's supposed to be bad. And it's like, no, there's a difference
like
between...
the Folgers crystals, right?
There's a difference between the Folgers crystals that my parents, you know, soaked down in the you know, just slammed down in the morning for the routine, and a nice cup of coffee from like a good diner that like knows what they're doing, or well, Gothard's really good at coffee, although he's got the collection of fancy coffee machines. He's got those like glass vacuum things that suck all the water up and thing, and that's quite a thing to watch in action. Now Mookie writes in, good golly, I have not been here forever and nothing has changed. You really need to up the production value of this broadcast. Keep the discussion level the same.
Thanks for the suggestion. Actually, we need you to join our show.
Keep the discussion level the same. Brian tends to set his levels hotter than Mars sets his levels, and if I spend 10 minutes every week balancing that between, you know, no up a little, no down a little, that's not
the volume balances.
Maybe.
What are you talking about? Okay.
You're
gotcha.
Mars is usually a little to the low side, but if I could understand everyone and I could have a conversation, I feel like the level's good enough that people are just going to listen to the show and be fine with it. But point taken. Point taken, Mookie.
I need to get closer. I'll get closer too. Just don't tell me.
If you could just... Well, also, my mic is pretty hot compared to Mars's. But
hey, Warhawk.
Although I think me and Brian are in the same ballpark. We're both hitting the red on my...
I mean, if you need me to get close to my mic, I can, but now I feel like the little pop shield's stuck in my face and I can't do it.
I don't know. You're just very quiet compared to me and Brian. And
he needs to pop that the pop shield is actually worth something.
Do you have a further up? Are you maxed out on your mic level?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I can make it go higher if you want.
All right. Yeah. Let's just bump that up a little bit. See how that goes.
7, 8. Give us a 3 count.
WNBC. Now, Mookie actually was not talking about the levels. He's talking about the depth of the conversation. Well, this is just warm. I had no intention coming here to talk about coffee. I just kind of let this chat happen. You know?
Yeah, you're right, Warhawk. It wasn't for me, so I was actually saying it for
no, not the
for
property.
But
Mookie.
But let's get into the real topic here. So I
want
to talk.
We have a real topic.
I can do this. This is better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we do have a real topic, and
we do.
Yeah. Well, we always have a real topic.
Oh, before we get to the real topic, since I kind of peeked at what the topic is.
Okay.
Did you see the thing that I posted to Mars that allegedly Microsoft wants to roll back from Windows 11 to Windows 10?
Well, that's nothing new. That's
the first I saw it.
Well, no, that's for hardware that doesn't meet the requirements of Windows 11.
I'm not rolling back my stuff I've hacked. Bite me, Microsoft.
Does that mean you can actually install it where it's not a qualified machine?
Yes and no. I know that there have been workarounds and hacks and things that people have used to get Windows 11 to install on a machine that does not meet the requirements for Windows 11. And apparently some of Microsoft's documentation even hinted at or told you how to do it.
They told you how to do it.
And now Microsoft is basically like trying to scrub all that and saying, no, nothing to see over here. And they, from reading the article, it's not clear to me if they've completely removed that ability or if they're just removing the publishing of that. But the point is that it's nothing new, that Microsoft only wants hardware that meets a certain level to have Windows 11 on it. If your computer doesn't meet that level, Microsoft wants you to...
So your computer land is not going to get there?
No, my computer land, sadly, is not going to get there.
But you could go to Linux and you could be there forever.
Well, I'm not even sure I'm not sure how...
I went for... He's running Linux version 0.01.
I'm not sure how far I could push Linux on an 8088. That'd be a good topic. What versions of Linux could you run on an 8088? That could be fun.
I was talking to a friend today. We're talking about versions of Windows. I go, you know what? Think what would have happened if Bill Gates hadn't dealt with Microsoft stuff. We all could be running OS2 Warp right now still.
Or someone else would have come along and or we'd all be running Apples.
Well, yeah. I don't want that.
Who knows?
Or running TRS-80s.
Yeah.
I wish it was a TRS-80 though.
Actually, I'm on this TRS-80 group, and these people are buying these. They're finding these old TRS-80s someplace, getting them in, and then trying to get them to work.
Oh, good. Go for it.
Like, okay, whatever.
A lot of people are doing that to old
LDOS and NewDOS and
there's a huge whatever. Commodore. There's a huge Commodore society. A lot of people love their Commodore 64s and their 128s. And they're huge. The Commodore ones are huge.
Actually, that Amiga machine was really nice.
Oh, the Amiga 2000 was a nice machine.
It was nice because it was basically a window, graphical interface.
Yeah, what was neat about Amiga is it had stuff that you still can't get now with capturing. I knew a lot of people that used to do original subtitling on their Amigas.
Mookie writing in Windows for Workgroup 3.11 was and still is the best. Well,
you know what? Yeah, I agree. That was a great version of Windows.
My favorite.
That one had networking, right?
My favorite was when one day Eddie came into our IT spot at Tharco and asked me if I had a Windows 3.11, a set of Windows 3.11 installation disks. And I'm like, why would you ever? And this is like in 2010, 11, 12, around there. And the reason is because the corrugator controls had a built-in trackball that acted as a mouse with buttons into the console that was connected by a serial port to the computer that was in that control panel that ran the corrugator. And apparently it was running Windows 3.11 under the hood, and the trackball broke. And so the first question was, do you have serial mice? And we called our office supplier for things like keyboards, mice, and whatever, and asked them, can you get us some serial mice? And he said, I'm going to need some time to look around. About a half hour later, he goes, well, I found some place that has 3 of them left in stock for like $5 each. How many do you want? Yes. All of them.
Yes, 3. Yes.
Get me all of them.
Yes.
These have to last us for as long as the corrugator lasts before they upgrade it. So we bought out all those serial mice. Wow. And so then he disconnected the trackball, ran the cable in through the counter someplace so that way basically the people running the machine just use that mouse instead of that trackball. But once he connected that, a little Windows thing popped up asking for Windows 3.11 install disk 4 to install the driver for the new serial mouse.
Disk 4.
And so that's when he came in asking me, by any chance, do you guys have any Windows 3.11 install disks? I'm like, if you don't ask me how I get it, I'll get you one. So I found some like 3.5-inch floppies that were kicking around. I had a USB 3.5 floppy drive in a drawer. and I went and I installed a BitTorrenting client on my work computer, found the torrent site for Windows 3.11, downloaded the images, wrote them to the disks, handed them to Eddie. Here you go.
That's funny.
He's like, I see.
And don't tell anybody where this came from.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing was, we were just...
What you talking about, Willard?
We were updating a driver on a machine that was running a licensed copy of the OS.
Allegedly.
Everything was on the up and up here.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Right. As far as we know.
As far as we know. Warlock Redigan, I am SAI 8080, like in the film War Games.
Yeah.
That was a fun machine.
Yeah, War Games is a great movie.
War Games, very future-looking movie in an alternate universe where artificial intelligence, technology, and computers can teach itself the finer details of thermonuclear war by playing a series of games of tic-tac-toe in succession.
Right.
Wait.
It's learning.
Oh, no.
It's throwing some X's and O's, and it'll keep doing that forever. It ain't learning shit.
Did you ever watch the, what the hell is the Corbin Project?
No.
That's a good movie. That's where they decide, this is before Skynet, right?
Okay.
We're going to have the military is going to run this computer system that will make the decision for us, make it difficult for the... Anyway, so they got up and running. Yes, perfect, whatever. And suddenly Corbin says, there is another system. Fuck, the Russians built one too. It's pretty cool.
Anyways, speaking of AI, so the company I work for has started considering that we might need to consider that AI is becoming a part of technology that is being used in the workplace. And so they decided to buy some ChatGPT licenses and to buy some, what's the Microsoft one? The Microsoft AI, a Copilot, some Copilot licensing. And asked if any group of volunteers would like to are interested in testing out these test licenses to be part of this like pilot group.
Incidentally, I want to correct myself. The full title of the movie is Colossus: The Forbin Project.
Okay.
I'll have to look it up.
I think Forbin is the guy that developed.
That's nice.
Yeah, Charles.
So I volunteered for this project.
That developed it.
So I volunteered for this project.
Yes.
And
yeah.
And the way it works is they have a certain number of licenses. So first come, first serve. Who volunteers, and first they give half the group ChatGPT, the other half of the group Copilot, and then some point in this process we'll swap, and that way we can compare which tool we like better, and what was good, what was bad.
And how are you going to use these things?
Well, that was part one. Part one is I had to write a case, statement or like what is my... And basically, what am I going to use it for? And I just basically gave him a 2-sentence. I'm going to use it to help with troubleshooting tech problems, which normal troubleshooting and Googling fail to produce a result. That's my case
Or you
study.
get it running and then you move to your little cabin up in Maine.
I'm not delusional. And if that were possible, I wouldn't tell anyone I was doing that.
Right, I know. You get it going. Hey, you show your face around.
Yeah. So, anyways, I got my ChatGPT license, and as I've mentioned for a while now on this show, I've had this support ticket open with Microsoft since December 3rd. Since December 3rd, I have been having calls with Microsoft to try to troubleshoot this problem that I have about 15 machines in my environment that are having a problem that our app inventory software is not getting current data off the machines, and the support for the inventory software has proven it to be a problem with the WMI registry or the WMI, another word that starts with R. But they've determined, so they basically go, it's a Windows problem, it's not our problem, it's out of our scope. Go pound sand is their take on it. Basically, if I run in a PowerShell window, the command, I don't even have all my notes in front of me, and I don't want to go into the details of it. The point is, I run this command and it comes back with generic error, and so I don't want to reinstall Windows on 15 machines.
Right.
Okay.
So I want an answer to this. So after, the inventory software people are basically like, go pound sand, and I can't talk back to them too much because I've already gotten in trouble with that.
Okay.
And yeah, my 2024 performance review came back clean, no incidents, no pissing anyone off. My 2023 performance review was mostly good, and the comments were mostly buried because my boss really thinks it's bullshit anyways. But yeah, I got in trouble in 2023 for telling these people off, and they deserved it, and I stand behind every word I've ever said to them. But Sparky Toaster in the house.
Sparky.
So anyways, once they said, well, it's a Windows problem, it's out of our scope, I'm like, okay, we got Microsoft support. I'll open a ticket with Microsoft support, and they'll fix it. But this has been going on since December 3rd. And basically what they've been trying to do is they've been trying to get me to get two machines to establish a connection with each other that our security policies prevent from happening, and we don't know why. And this has nothing to do with the problem I'm having. But this is where Microsoft's tech thinks that the troubleshooting needs to go and doesn't think we can do anything further until we accomplish this RPC connection that's being blocked. And it's like, this has nothing to do with this. Why are you... But the tech I'm talking to doesn't even know how to do a repair install. So this past Friday...
There's qualification for you.
Sparky asking, will round 2 be next week? I don't know. We'll find out. So on Friday, I have to put it like, I had to tell like the project manager for this ChatGPT project that I'm doing something. So I'm like, all right, it's Friday, it's slow. Why don't I take this issue that Microsoft has done fuck all with for 2 months now, and maybe I could ask ChatGPT what it thinks of it and see what it does. And let me tell you, a few hours of ChatGPT gave me a whole lot more troubleshooting steps and zeroing in on what the problem actually is than 2 months with Microsoft official support.
Does that mean you're putting them out of business?
So what version of Chat GPT are you using?
I don't know.
Oh, they don't tell you?
I sign in. I ask it questions. I don't. Maybe I could find out, but I don't care. That's not the point of the story.
Because the Microsoft version
let's not
is
get off track.
Chat is GPT-4.
Okay.
So if you're on GPT-4, you got the same fucking thing. So why are you doing this? Try it and swap. Is one smarter than the other?
No. Well, Cope. I don't know. I'm not behind what licenses are bought for what.
This is just some dude decide. Let's look into these. We got two different things, even though they're really the same. Blah, blah, blah.
So today, Microsoft emails me with, we got some more steps to try and some more logs to grab. When can he schedule a call? So here's what I wrote back to Microsoft today. Mind you, 2 months of Microsoft support, we've gotten nowhere. 4 hours with ChatGPT, and I was able to tell Microsoft this. I have spent some hours with this issue using AI to guide me through some troubleshooting steps. I think I've reached a point where AI has taken a few laps around the issue without finding a solution. Here's a summary it gave me when I requested one. Summary of what we've conclusively determined so far. Win32_product exists but fails to execute. The WMI class Win32_product is present in root/CIMv2, meaning it hasn't been removed. However, running get WMI object class Win32product fails with generic failure. This suggests WMI is functional, but Win32_product cannot communicate with Windows installer MSI. 2. The entire MSI WMI integration is broken. MSI-related WMI classes, Win32_software feature, Win32_software element also fail. These are tests that ChatGPT had me run that Microsoft never asked me to try these commands. Confirming that this is not just an issue with Win32 product, but with all MSI-related WMI functionality. WMI recognizes MSI-related queries, i.e. it doesn't return class not found. So the problem is not due to a missing class. However, Windows installer, MSI, is not responding to these queries, meaning MSI is either misconfigured, blocked, or disconnected from WMI. Point 3. Point 3 has nothing to do with the problem. It has to do with one of the flaws of ChatGPT, which is at some point ChatGPT was asking me to do things that I couldn't do because it was outdated processes from older versions of Windows 10. And so at one point it was basically telling me that I might have a corrupt MSI prov.dll file. But when I pressed for that going, hey, this file doesn't exist, it's like, oh, that means there's a serious problem. When I'm like, this file doesn't exist on any of my Windows 10 machines. Oh, that's right. That file has been, retired or whatever. So, like, I had to push ChatGPT to recognize that it gave me bad, outdated information. Anyway, so point 3, the traditional MSI prov.dll MSI provider no longer exists. MSI prov.dll does not exist on modern Windows 10 systems, meaning the MSI provider is now integrated directly within WMI. Therefore, attempting to re-register MSI prov.dll is not a valid solution. Number 4, Windows installer MSI exec is running but not responding to WMI. Windows installer runs normally for direct MSI operations, however, no MSI logs are generated when querying Win32 product, meaning that MSI is never actually being triggered by WMI queries. This suggests that WMI's MSI-related provider is broken or blocked. Now, I don't know if that one's true because I've not confirmed that the process that they had me run to try to generate some logs works on a working machine. So, again, this could just be an invalid process that ChatGPT gave me that came to an incorrect conclusion when I'm like, hey, dude, I'm not getting any logs here where you're telling me I should have them.
So the AI solution can lie just like anybody.
Well, it could have, it's just regurgitating data it has. If the data is not good anymore, if the data is outdated, it could regurgitate outdated data. However, if you press it and tell it that data is outdated, it might be able to determine, oh, you're right, that data is outdated, or that doesn't. But it's not smart enough to immediately know. Well, heck, I'm talking to ChatGPT. I didn't tell it what version of Windows 10 I'm on. So it didn't even ask me to distinguish between different versions of Windows 10. So, yeah, it's regurgitating. You
probably should have given that information as well.
Well, it didn't. Yeah. Well, again, this was my first time interacting with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The point is that 4 hours I got this, which basically now paints a picture. Because when I was ranting about this problem in the past 2 months, it was I have a WMI issue that this vendor can't fix, and Microsoft has no idea what it is because they're trying to do some RPC connection that's being blocked. 4 hours later with ChatGPT, I could tell you I have a problem with WMI communicating with the Microsoft installer. I still don't know what that means or how to reset that, but that's really kind of zeroed in a more specific problem. So I sent all that data off to Microsoft support today and said, please review this and share this with your teammates and let me know if this helps point you in a new direction to troubleshoot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's interesting working with AI. It's just it depends on what you're doing with it and what you want it to do. And there's some things it's really, really good at. And then there's some things that you look at it like, what? I mean, it hallucinates. The hallucinations, people get so mad at hallucinations. Those are some of the funnest things. If you're not doing anything important, hallucinations are the funnest things in the world. If you're doing something important, then you get annoyed. I understand that. But yeah. Well, hopefully it helps. Gators, I sent a link I thought you might find kind of funny and kind of annoying in the chat.
Mookie asked if I pay for ChatGPT. Well, no, this is a license I was
the company paid for
assigned to from the company, so the company is paying for.
That's cool.
Now, I think my brother actually signed up or paid for ChatGPT and was using it for certain things. I've not reached a point yet where I find myself going, gee, I really would like to ask ChatGPT about this until this is not a usual problem I encounter in my work. So I'm not entirely sold on like buying myself a license for personal use, but I'm certainly paying attention and considering that. But yeah, you sent me an article that Elon Musk has launched a $97.4 billion bid to take control of OpenAI.
Read the responses, though. That's what's hilarious about it.
The responses. Okay. Well, no, I scrolled down. It's a story about Peacock. Where's the... Oh, when asked for comment, an OpenAI spokesperson pointed engaged to an ex-post from CEO Sam Altman. No, thank you, but we will buy Twitter for $9.74 billion if you want.
That is
okay, that was worth it.
Yeah, that was worth it right there.
That is beautiful right there.
I don't think they're selling. They're like, no.
I don't think no. Well, I mean, this question still remains: will AI? Because AI, first of all, I think it's been improperly named. Because when we think of artificial intelligence, we think of sentience, and so far these are just high-tech tools that do fast calculation and processing, and to regurgitate data that it's trained on, and it's only as good as the data that it's trained on.
Sure.
So it's basically like a shortcut to Googling.
You know, I mean, okay, so like is Alexa AI?
No. And that right there is a fancy database that will respond to you due to your questions. Now February 27th, I think it's the 27th, there's going to be a event for the generative AI version of it, which means it will supposedly be a little smarter. I don't know what they're going to talk about, but that's supposedly good. Yeah.
I mean, it's not delivering everything it's promised, but it is delivering stuff.
Yeah.
The big questions are: will it improve and be able to continue to provide more accurate data? And will it reach a model that could be profitable? Because so far, these companies are investing a whole lot of money, which is basically placing a bet at the casino that this is going to be some groundbreaking, revolutionary stuff. Which, if you're developing the thing that's revolutionary and groundbreaking, it pays off big time. But they're putting a whole lot on that.
It's basically AR, artificial regurgitation.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, the problem is we've branded this new line of technology, including audio noise reduction technology, as AI. And I feel like AI is going to become something of a misnomer, much like stereo sound isn't really. The term stereo sound meant to describe full sound, the full spectrum around you. But stereo sound was delivered in a 2-speaker model that now stereo has come to mean in our language 2-channel sound. But 2-channel sound is not really what the true definition of the word stereo is supposed to mean. So it's like we've changed the meaning of a word by applying it to a specific case. So now AI is forever going to mean this thing that's not really AI, but that's what we mean when we say AI. We've ruined the concept of artificial intelligence forever by labeling this line of technology that's not truly artificial intelligence as AI.
Well, we're in a very interesting age of the beginnings of this stuff.
Yeah.
People say it's so advanced. It's the beginnings. It's a
we're,
little surface.
We're always in the age of beginnings, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the skim of the water.
Tesla self-driving car is not that good still. I mean, I was just watching the video for the latest version. I think it's version 3.13, and you have to have a person in control of the car because sometimes it just doesn't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, and well, it also recommends that you have your finger on or some pressure
Right.
on the steering
So
wheel, the yoke, or
so
whatever.
when Elon Musk says, "Oh, we're going to have 1 million self-driving vehicles out there,"
Oh, the
at
little
some point,
taxis.
like, no, it's not. I mean, in fact, I had one guy said, "Oh, Waymo, is it?
Yeah, we
The
know.
other
Yeah, we
outfit
know.
is way better." Well, because
It
they
is.
have LiDAR.
Yeah.
So they have a better understanding of the situation. They're focusing more on getting it working. I mean, how many people has Elon Musk laid off that were working on it? Like, you can't be laying people off. You're still trying to develop it.
True.
Unless, of course, those guys are idiots that let go.
Mookie putting it more eloquently than I did. Everything with an algorithm is now being called AI, which is wrong. Just like every computer error is a glitch, people don't care to find out the details.
Sure. Well, even the error codes that come out of a lot of computers are garbage.
Yeah.
Error 301. What the hell does that mean?
I mean,
404.
For years, you work with the assumption that these error codes mean something to someone, and I just need to talk to that person. I don't think I have ever in my life spoken to someone that understood what illegal function call in 0x81257
Exactly. Like, oh, you're not talking to the right person.
Oh,
that's right. So you kind of got to weed down through the error code. Where did that come from? Which, of course, they don't tell you. And then you go, okay, so this happened in this module. That's the guy I call. Well, you don't know which module it is. Oh, or like the other stupid thing is...
Yeah, it means something to the dev, but you'll never be in contact with them. As
you go into an error, and it says, oh, that device is in use. What's fucking using it? Isn't that a simple question?
But a problem is that this has resulted in, there are error messages that are useful and there are error messages that are garbage. But we've kind of grown up in an era where we've grown accustomed to, if a blue screen comes up, don't waste your time reading the gibberish on the screen.
Reboot your computer.
Like, the person that actually still will read illegal function call in 0x is seen as an out-of-touch elderly person that doesn't understand computers. Yeah. You know, like, no, you got a blue screen. Okay. And this seems illogical to the person trying to read the screen. Like, don't you want to hear what the error says? Doesn't this explain to you exactly what's happening? No, it doesn't.
That's right.
Not at all.
It's just that the guy with experience, the natural intelligence, right? The guy with experience, he knows how to deal with it.
But then but I think Dune has had stories about where someone calls him for something, and Dune asks, "Well, did it give you an error?" And they say no. And then at some point, he's walking through the process, and he hears him hit a key, and it's like, "What do you do?" "Oh, I just cleared the error screen." It's like, the error that I asked you if you saw it.
There's the dumbass.
So there are times that we've gone on autopilot of, oh, that's nothing, or oh, I see that all the time. That's the thing, is sometimes we get too used to things that it becomes noise, which makes it ineffective anymore. And Mookie Redigan, don't get me started on motherboard beep codes or errors, which has no standards. Oh yeah,
beep beep beep.
Yeah,
beep 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 beep.
Are those good? Those sound
like there's a RAM error. Let's go look.
Those sounds like friendly beeps.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, they're friendly beeps. All right.
I will say that sometimes it pays though to pursue all avenues, because when I was having a problem with one of my computer LAN 8088s, it kept on like crashing to the screen would go black, everything would stop working, and I was at wit's end trying to figure out what the fuck is happening. How do I even begin to troubleshoot this? And someone suggested getting like an error code card. And I was a little skeptical about buying a error code card and putting it in an 8088. I mean, the thing has no it's got a BIOS that basically boots the machine, but it's got no BIOS settings or no codes or no there's nothing to it. It doesn't even have a built-in date or time. Yet it uses a date and time card with a battery attached to it to set the date and time every time you boot up, and it's not Y2K compliant, so it doesn't even set the year right anymore. But so there's nothing there to give me useful errors.
Yeah.
But I've decided. But to finish my story,
does any Microsoft computer or operating system give you an error log?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Thank you.
Well, now that you've answered that question, let me continue my story.
Perfect.
So I'm like, well, the error code card, like $10, may as well. I'll go ahead. I'll buy that. I'll throw it in there just to at least rule out that possibility. I buy the error card. I put it in. I turn on the machine. It starts to boot up. It goes to a black screen and crashes out. I look at the error card, and it told me exactly what was wrong.
Which was?
It was tripping the reset function on the PC card, and there was a light that lit up that let you know when the computer was acting as if the reset button was held down.
Oh.
And so that's what, told me, like, oh, it's not that the computer's crashing. It's not that, it just stops doing all thing. It's that the reset, well, it wasn't the button that was stuck. It was the circuit. The reset circuit was being tripped.
Right.
To basically put it in the mode as if the button were held down. And I actually just followed the trace from the reset button, and I reached a capacitor that was in there, and I removed the capacitor, which basically disabled the reset function on the card, and that fixed the problem. Now, of course, the question stands, if I replace that capacitor with a new capacitor, will the reset function work again and it'll work, or will it still crash out? And I don't know. And I really don't care about the functionality of the reset button in the back of the machine to really play further with that.
Did you just unplug the reset button?
But yeah, that's, like I said, I took out the capacitor, which disables the circuit. So
well, that fixed that.
So, even if you think this will never work, give it a go, because an error code card happened to tell me exactly what was happening.
Yeah, the capacitor probably just eliminated the scratchy bounce of the reset button, physical button.
I don't think that.
That's
no,
all it did.
I don't think it was the button, because even if you don't touch the button at all, basically the machine would do this. The more you used it, the quicker it would do it, which suggested to me it was something temperature related, that something warmed up and tripped this connection to be in place that shouldn't be.
Well,
whether or not the button was pressed.
Well, but I mean, in normal operation, that's what the capacitor is for. And so when you push the button, those things can be noisy. So rather than get 50 strikes, you get one strike. Mm-hmm. And that's what it is. And then as it's old, that capacitor is probably just wigging out and just pressing it himself.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
It could be the capacitor, or it could be that by removing the capacitor, I've broken the circuit, and it could be something else. Maybe a different capacitor.
So you fix it by removing
that's
the problem.
wigging out on a broken circuit that's no longer a closed loop, even though technically it shouldn't be a closed loop with the buttons not even being pressed. But something is. I mean, ultimately, there's a chip that's getting triggered somehow, and by disconnecting that capacitor, disconnect it, whatever was tripping up that chip. Mookie writes in, heaven forbid, if you have a case of kernel panic, that's the time to junk the entire PC. Warhawk writing in that P beeps equal peeps. Right. And Sparky backing up Brian on his, the point of the capacitor was it's giving you 1 hit instead of 10. And so, something could have been tripping up that capacitor, or I never dug further to determine if it had anything to do with the capacitor or if it had to do with just breaking the circuit. So I didn't even get that far to why this.
Yeah, you removed it and it worked now.
Yeah, it works now except for the reset
solved.
button. But at this point, I've got like 4 or 5 of these machines, so I have enough spare cards that I don't need the one with the bad reset button to work anymore.
Aw, poor with a bad reset button. Are you fix it?
One of these days, maybe, perhaps. Probably
Do
not.
we get a special Saturday stream where you're soldering capacitors?
No one.
Now
wants
these
that.
these computers still have the big red button, right?
Well, these.
The big red switch.
Yeah.
Yes, the big red power switch on the side, clunk, and it comes to life. Yes,
That's great.
basically a red power switch that's attached to the power supply where it mounts in the case.
So instead of hitting the reset button, you hit the big red switch.
Right, because the reset button was a small little red button that was on the back of the machine. So the big red power switch was much easier to reach than the little reset
I kind of wish
button.
more things had that big red switch.
Yeah. Sparky ready to get right on it when he gets to his Philco TV. Yeah, one of these days.
How's
Yeah,
that?
that's
is
right.
It's still going over the corner.
You could put the reset switch in your Philco TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Reuse that capacitor.
Yeah, the bad one.
Yeah.
Exactly. It'll be good for something.
No, it won't. It'll be good for a landfill.
So
Mookie wants to know
is there such thing as a capacitor tester?
Yeah.
Oh, there's.
Yeah.
Well,
It's called a voltmeter. You sit there and you put it in the thingy.
I mean,
that just tells you what's short. You don't know what the value is going to be.
I have a multimeter that measures the capacitance of a capacitor. However, I don't know that that's a thorough test. That's testing that the value is right under, but it doesn't really tell you that the capacitor is going to hold up to being put in a circuit run under stress.
And I understand that, yeah.
So yes and no. Now Sparky, Mookie asking if these computers have the turbo button. No, these computers are 8088s. They don't have a turbo button. It would be the computers that came after them, like a 386, that would have the turbo button, which, yes, it is a lie, because you think that turbo means it's boosting, but it's actually doing the opposite. So to answer Sparky's question, what did the turbo button do? Well, a lot of software of the time was written without considering the fact that future computers that will run them might have faster clock time and would, as a result, run them faster. So on my Computer Land 8088, I had this little pinball game. And, you hit like the shift key and it shoots the ball up and it moves around. And your control keys run the flippers and you play a little pinball. So I thought, oh, this is fun. And then I get a 386. I'm like, oh, I got to get my pinball game on a 386 because I love playing this game.
And then you're like, holy crap, what happened?
Yeah, I hit the button, the ball go bing, down the drain. Like, what the? How am I can't play at that speed.
Yeah.
And that's where the turbo button, if your motherboard supports it, will run your processor at a slower clock speed. So that way, if you have an application that needs to run a certain speed, it'll slow it down.
Sure.
So you can actually play some pinball.
Now my 88.
Or where you think you're turning on the turbo button, you're actually turning it off.
Right. And
I had a Compu ad 8088, and to get to turbo, you hit Alt Control plus or minus. Plus would be the turbo, and minus would be the
secret button.
Yeah.
Now the Computerland 8088 actually it doesn't have a turbo button, but it does have two different speeds it can run at. So it's kind of got the same concept, but there's basically a command you have to run to set it into low speed, 4 megahertz or 8 megahertz mode.
So that was by executing a program?
Yeah.
That switched it?
Yeah. So technically,
rather
I guess,
than a.
So I guess technically I do have a turbo on the Computerland 8088.
A turbo mode.
A turbo mode because it was an 8 megahertz 8088 processor that could run at a 4 megahertz speed, if I'm recalling correctly.
Hey, Mod Pro.
Mod Pro in the house.
Yeehaw.
But back then on those machines, it was run as a command, not with a button to activate it. So, yeah. Anyways, So.
Oh,
darn.
Wikipedia has a article on turbo button.
Yep.
Oh.
Although
Relatively common between 286, 386, 486 processors.
yeah, because one of my computers in the basement's a kind of a Frankenstein 486, and the case has a turbo button, but the motherboard that I put in the case doesn't support the turbo button, so I have a non-working turbo button on a 486, but I'm not trying to run anything on that 486.
And the name was inspired by turbocharger, a device that increases a engine's power and efficiency. Blah, blah. Yes.
I don't know, Sparky. This is hearsay or thearsay. I don't know how I know this.
You know, there are things that we remember, and then there are things that we don't remember. Like, what did I have for breakfast today?
Oh, I didn't have breakfast, but I did go to San Jose and got some fresh noodles and a tonkatsu. It was delicious.
So, what were you doing down in San Jose?
I was hanging out with a friend. My friend wanted to get Girl Scout cookies from his other friend because he had bought some.
So you went there for Girl Scout cookies?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Well, that's a solid plan.
Support the cause.
Yeah.
Support the cookies.
Anyone watch the big game over the weekend?
The puppies?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? You know, I did not realize that this was Super Bowl weekend until I was on Animal Planet and I saw a puppy bowl ad. Oh, that's tomorrow. That means the Super Bowl is also tomorrow.
Yes, Puppy Bowl.
So here is an incredible thing. I didn't even know who was playing. I wasn't watching the game, the football game, that is.
Oh.
But we went to the Philly cheesesteak outfit that we would go to in Hayward. But this one was in San Ramon. Okay. And we got there in the last quarter of the game, and the Philadelphia Eagles were winning. So that was just coincidental cool.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, well, anyways, in my opinion...
I didn't know I was rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, I wasn't rooting for anyone because I really don't care.
Actually, I'm kind of the same. I just thought that the coincidence was interesting.
But no, I think there was clearly
I think Sparky didn't want us to change the subject.
Well, all right, so Sparky dissected 8088 back in Lincoln Tech School to find flaws that were put in it from the teacher using switches. We had to take logic probe to find the issue. Oh, wow. Now that is
cool.
But he doesn't remember all of it. But you probably remember more of it than, like... I mean, whatever you remember from that would be principles that could be useful to apply to... I mean, how to chase down an electrical problem and complex machinery is going to be a valuable skill.
I met a guy when I was in Houston that had worked for a Compaq computer, and his job, this was in the early days of Compaq, they were developing the perfect IBM PC clone.
Okay, right, yeah.
Not by stealing the BIOS from IBM. So they had two teams. One team would go through the IBM code on a standard IBM PC, take the code apart, document what it was doing, and then threw it through the firewall, shall we say, to the other team. They would take those specs and write their own version of the code.
Okay.
And that's why the Compaq computer was the perfect clone.
So, anyways, I think there was really one true winner of the Super Bowl this past weekend.
It was Bowser?
No.
Ralph? Fred?
Eugene Levy.
Eugene Levy.
Eugene Levy wins the Super Bowl.
Okay. I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who Eugene Levy is?
Nope.
Okay, well let's bring up.
I love Eugene Levy. I love his show.
He was on SCTV. He was
Never watched it.
The car salesman in National Lampoon's Vacation. What else was he in? Jim's dad in American Pie. But anyways, since you missed Eugene Levy's winning play, we must go to the replay camera and play it again.
All right, Little Caesar's Crazy Puffs. Whoa!
Is this little Becky?
Birthday cake comes in. It is so cute. My dad's eating Crazy Puffs again. Don't ask.
Whoa. Have you tried the new bacon ones?
There are bacon ones?
Pizza.
So there you go.
From Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, I was gonna say Schitt's Creek. I was
God.
like, how do you not know who he is, Brian?
I know it. As soon as I saw him, I go, wait a minute, that's Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
That Eugene Levy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
I
the
watch
bushy
him,
eyebrows. That
Yes.
There's a show I watch on Apple TV Plus. It's called Reluctant Traveler with Eugene Levy. He goes around to all these different places around the world and does reviews of the area. And goes back into the non-touristy parts of the areas. It's kind of a neat show.
So better than Idiot Abroad.
Oh, Idiot Abroad was so good too. But no, I like it. Better,
I know.
honestly.
There was some funny bits, but this is just proving that Ricky Gervais is a fucking asshole.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, Reluctant Traveler, look it up. There's 2 seasons of it. They're making a 3rd season. But yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, I watched it. I've been watching kind of episode by episode of 8 out of 10 Cats. And there's this one episode, the whole show is about the Big Brother house, the UK version. Okay. But not only are they talking about it, couple of the panelists were from the show, right?
Okay.
So they get to rank on those people. But then you got these bleachers off the side where it's basically the rest of the crew. So all these people were on the show and they're just making jokes about the show.
As I should.
And you kind of go, oh, yeah, that woman is a total bitch on the show, but she's the nicest person on the panel.
Oh, no.
So, wait a minute. Oh, that's a reality show. There is nothing real about it.
So, Sparky going back to his computer training days.
Yes, Sparky, thank you.
The machine that was used for teaching was called the Comtrand, but he can't find a picture of this machine anywhere. And he does remember this much. The teacher had on the blackboard 3 ways to stop the Comtrand from running. And he added a 4th way, 357 Magnum.
Yeah. I'm sure dude would appreciate that. Yes.
That teacher got a laugh out of that one. Now, Mookie going back to the beginning of the show.
44 Magnum is actually better.
Mookie, go back to the beginning of the show. How do you feel about U.S. not producing the 1 cent coin anymore? I think we all pretty much came to a consensus that we're in favor of it.
Yeah,
I say just 4 years. We don't need them all. We don't need them this year, but it's okay. 4 years later, they'll do it.
But we also want to get someone on the show that works for a big oil company so we can grill them on what the fuck is up with 9/10 of a cent.
That's right.
You can do the Superman. Was it Superman 2 or 3?
Isn't that when you stick the blanket on her back with it? No, wait. That never mind.
I think that's a
different
different
thing.
There's that's like an Urban Dictionary thing, like a sex move called the Superman, which has to do with pulling out, coming on her back, and then throw the sheet on there so it sticks her like a cape.
That's just disgusting.
That's what I was referencing without directly describing it, so that the only people that would be like, are people that already know. Because if you know, you know. But now you all know.
Thanks. We
so for
really
that,
needed to know that.
You're welcome.
Not necessary.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, you got to learn these things somewhere.
Exactly.
Do we really have to learn these things? That's the question. Do we really have to?
There are certain things that just are in the pop culture that you don't want to be the guy.
Oh, this isn't pop culture? This isn't culture now?
Yeah, right. I mean,
what
after all, In order to understand SpongeBob SquarePants, you actually have to watch an episode.
I mean, Brian, let's say you're like hanging out with some of the other retired guys, and one of them mentions something about, well, you could always try the Superman, and they all have a little chuckle. You don't want to be the guy with the confused look on his face with everyone going, well, this guy doesn't even know what the Superman is. So now you could have a chuckle on your face, and everyone knows that you also know.
Is that something people discuss, Gators? Am I behind the times?
It could be. You never know. I just dropped reference to it right here.
Yes, and this show is definitely pop culture.
Oh yeah. We're on the cutting edge of pop culture right here.
Well, when did this whole the Superman thing come out?
I don't know.
I don't. What?
We might have to actually research this.
Wait. At least the 90s, because wasn't this discussed in an NHB episode or something?
I think this was when, what was it? Lydia would call into the show. I think there was a discussion about the Superman.
Oh, I think that's, yeah.
Yeah, let's see what Urban Dictionary says. Urban Dictionary's entry for the Superman. The Superman is an old trick performed to humiliate whatever skank or girlfriend you'd like to be rid of. You need some friends, a pillowcase, and maybe some cameras for internet video production.
Well,
After an evening of fun, you wait until the mark is asleep and lying on her side. See, this is different from what we discussed.
They upgraded it, I see.
Take a pillowcase, preferably red, and jerk off onto the end of it. Oh, I thought this was
that's a lot of work.
I thought this was a post-sex move that you come on her back and slap it on her back.
No, that's what they changed that.
Yeah, this is different. Oh, wait, there's multiple definitions. Here's a second one. The sex act which during the male climax, he ejaculates so hard he effectively blows off the head of his female partner.
Okay,
is then required to turn as if speaking to an audience and say, wow, I guess I really blew her mind. Then smile and wink.
I don't know if that's the right one either.
Let's see. Supermaning, the act of having sex while the woman holds onto the bedpost and sticks her legs straight out.
Ha! That's impressive too. That's impressive too.
Which, to use it in the form of a conversation, wow, your sister must work out. Why do you say that? We were Supermaning last night for 30 minutes before her legs gave out. Fuck you, man. That's how you use that in a conversation.
I see.
I
don't know if
these are all wrong versions of the Superman. Let's see. When you're banging someone and your sperm breaks through the condom. Crap, man, I Superman last night and apparently I got her pregnant.
Wait, is that what it's called?
That's, well, I guess the idea being the joke that Superman, if he has super sperm, it might break through the condom. I think that was something that was used in someone's stand-up comedy routine.
Yeah.
All these definitions for the Superman are wrong.
I mean, Sparky added one too.
Well, there's different versions. That's all.
Yeah. Now Sparky rating again. Yes, I thought the Superman move was when she puts her arms out while the guy is lifting her up while doggy. Okay, back to my. Okay, so apparently there have been multiple ways to use the term Superman. So Brian could have been having a chuckle with a bunch of guys in the parking lot, and they're thinking of a woman just holding, her legs
or
up. Or
something completely different.
While Brian's like, yeah, but why ruin a perfectly good sheet? And then everyone would turn to give him a weird look.
What are you talking about, dude? Oh, you have to look that one up.
All right, well, now we've learned something.
Yeah, it means something different for every generation, I guess.
Yeah. I wonder what future generations are going to call Supermaning, or the Superman.
I don't want to know.
I don't. Let's see. Oh, here's another version of it, but this one, the full entry is called Superman That Hoe. When you're doing a girl doggy style, pull out, come on her back /ass. When she tells you to wipe it off, you pretend to. and when she wakes up, she has the bed sheet stuck to her back like Superman's cape.
You know what? That's closer.
That's a different
Oh,
I think she
man.
noticed when she... If I rolled over and there was a bit of a squish going on, I wouldn't be like, oh, that's probably nothing, I'll go to sleep.
It depends on how much alcohol is involved.
That could be too.
I don't know.
Now there's a lot of entries for the specific terminology Superman that hoe, and they're basically different variations of coming on a girl's back and sticking the sheets on her. So I guess you have to refer to the girl as a hoe for the Superman to be the sheet trick.
Right.
Wow.
I don't know. Let's see. A male
Is
comes on some hoe's back.
Is that woman a gardener? Because that guy just called her a hoe. That was a bad joke, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was.
Okay. Obviously, I'm not a joke writer.
I
Or a
guess
good
you
one.
could come on a hoe, a gardening tool, and stick a
What?
sheet to
My
it.
question is, what are you doing in a freaking gardening shed? What do you know?
That's what.
Or do you just have a random one
for.
in your bedroom?
You know what I should do? I should post a short to my YouTube channel of me looking at a hoe with a sheet attached to it and just go, I just Superman that hoe. And just post that out there and just see what happens. See if it goes viral or if it gets some laughs.
Where would you post it? On
on my
It's
YouTube
short.
channel.
On YouTube.
Oh, on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's a YouTube short.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'd sign up for a TikTok account and put that out there just before the ban goes through. That's totally gonna not go through or I don't even know anymore.
Is that a thing still?
I don't think that's going to go away at this point.
Well, it's you don't think TikTok's going to go away? You mean? No, because I mean it's already Trump's already pretty much decided that he's working against it, and he doesn't care if he has the authority to do something or not. He'll just do it. So.
I don't think he's going to do it at this point. And maybe I'm wrong.
No, he has to undo it. Congress passed the law that basically makes TikTok go away.
But he's not going to enforce it.
Yeah.
don't think
TikTok
he's
has
gonna-
put out Brian. TikTok has put out a thing that says, "Oh yeah, if you're on Android, just download the APK and sideload it."
But I also think a big part of the motivation for it was basically a move to try to there are people behind it that basically want to buy the American version of TikTok for phase 3 profit. Go figure, pass back legislation for personal gain. There you go.
Well, Elon Musk keeps asking you to buy a subscription to Twitter. It's like, I think my profile says not one dime.
No. I stopped using the site. I haven't tweeted anything on there.
Other than our messaging.
Yeah, no, I still use it in a private message, but just to confirm, the person who says these Brian Blues on Blue Sky that I've been conversing with is actually Brian Blues? Is actually you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, like I said, the message is there. It's just, will you look there on Monday, or are you in the habit of looking at Twitter?
Blue Sky.
See, so I may as well just keep using the Twitter.
I mean, I could,
messenger.
though. I do have an
actually,
app.
why don't you send one on Blue Sky and then send it on Twitter to see if I see which one I see.
We'll
first.
send them on both as a transition phase.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I think that's certainly.
yeah.
I've had
doable.
my Blue Sky for what, 4 years? No, 3 years. 2 years.
Well, I
Yeah,
follow
you're-
a lot of the
you're
accounts
old.
I follow on Twitter have Blue Sky accounts, so I follow them over there. So that way, if I'm shitting on the toilet and I need to read some, tweets, I can read.
I hope you
I can
put
read
your
it on Blue
phone
Sky.
underneath the black light once in a while.
What I don't know can't hurt me.
There you go.
There you go. I like to keep my immune system on its toes.
What's your name on Blue Sky, Mr. Mars?
Sir Mars.
Sir Mars.
I mean,
Now he won't tell us what his name is on Facebook, though.
no, I won't.
Right. Sir Space Mars
Nope.
or no space?
No space.
No, he's on Earth, not in space.
I might be following you, dude.
I think I followed you, but I don't know that I've seen you do anything on there. But then again,
I don't really do anything on Blue Sky. I just read it once in a while.
Heck, I don't do much on Twitter or Blue Sky anymore. I mean,
I do stuff on Twitter.
Yeah.
Talk about espresso machines and stuff.
Although I did, I didn't send it on Blue Sky. I just sent it to a few people. I made some cool Death Star ice. Is what I made.
Oh, did you get one of the thingies that does it?
Yeah, I bought 4 of them. I think they came in 2s, so I bought 2 sets of 2s.
Oh, is there only 2 pieces, two Death Stars in a thingy?
Right. I think well, there's different ones, and I picked the one that was. But basically, what I do is I fill a mini cooler with water. I have solo cups that I kind of cut to be a little shorter. So I fill the ice sphere from the little fill hole. I submerge it into the cooler. I submerge the shortened solo cup into the cooler. I put the sphere into the solo cup so that the drain hole is facing downward into the solo cup, and then stand it up. So that way, being in the cooler, the water will freeze directional from the top to bottom of the cooler, which is from bottom of the sphere mold up to the fill hole, pushing all the impurities out the fill hole into the unfrozen water in the bottom of the solo cup. And then I get 4 clear Death Star spheres after leaving that in the freezer for like 2 days. Probably done in a day, but I like to make sure it gets all the way to the bottom or the top of the mold. Anyways, let me share my picture of it in a
best glass of whiskey ever.
So yeah, there it is. There's my glass. There's my old fashioned before adding orange peel and cherry garnish with a Death Star sphere in the drink. It looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Excellent.
I don't know if it's worth all that effort, but it looks cool.
Okay.
Yeah. That's no moon. That's an old fashioned.
But I have a question.
Oh, you just changed the whole line. That's great. Love it.
Gators, but the Death Star wasn't clear. It was whitish.
Well, yeah, but I don't want foggy, cloudy ice. I want clear ice.
They have a machine that does that for you instead of all the other stuff.
Well, I mean, there are basically devices that do the same thing I'm doing, except that's all-in-one type of unit that basically will have a drain at the bottom to directionally freeze and insulate its side.
I mean, it's still cool. Don't get me wrong; it's still pretty cool. I'm not saying.
But those things that you buy that do the plain spheres. I don't think you'll get a Death Star out of one of those devices.
Just do a little hole in there for the array. It's fine.
That absolutely is a well, yeah, you could see that is a my grandfather worked for a newspaper, and so there were some glasses of that. That's actually a glass of the headline from the moon landing. If I were to rotate that glass to show what the home news headline is on that, I thought that was a cool glass. So when we were clearing out the house, I swiped one of those, and that tends to be my go-to glass for an old-fashioned.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
We all have our glasses for certain things.
Yeah.
Me, I used to use a mug. There's one in the cupboard, but
But
I don't have a special one.
But yeah, you could make and then the other thing you could do to eat more easily or quickly make ice spheres is if you make blocks of clear ice, you can get like an aluminum press that you put the block on the press, and the aluminum will like melt the ice into a sphere by pressing down onto it. So that's kind of cool because it does it pretty fast, actually. Let me see if I can find a YouTube clip of one in use. But those also tend to be a little expensive. Let me see. Ice sphere press. So, there we go. The Williams Sonoma.
Hey, I understand this. Those two glasses are pretty cool. I had the jelly jars for a while.
Yeah.
And then the press comes with these 3 molds. So first, make a block of ice. Put one on top, put the lid back on, and then let the magic happen. You want to make sure to make the spheres on the tray that comes with the kit. The kit was 100% designed and manufactured in the United States. And the special anodized aluminum makes it easy for cleanup. The spherical shape won't dilute your favorite drink, and in fact, will bring out the bouquet of your favorite whiskey or scotch.
Bouquet.
This runoff is exactly why you want to use the tray that comes with the kit. And we're almost ready to reveal the sphere. Going to remove the lid by pulling straight up. And look at that. To help release the sphere, I'm going to turn this knob about halfway right in front, and then use the tongs that come with the kit.
And it's just that easy.
That's a huge ball.
And look at that perfect sphere. Enjoy your favorite whiskey or scotch over a Cirrus ice sphere.
But no, I'm happy doing my little solo cup mini cooler.
But Gators, there's no
trick.
tariffs on that machine. It's made in the U.S.
Oh, there you go.
Perfect.
No tariffs on your clear ice.
No.
What's the name brand of that?
I think that was a Williams Sonoma product. They make different ones. If you search on Amazon for ice pressed, you'll find plenty of them. That was just the first. That was the first one that came up on YouTube just to demonstrate it because it's kind of cool the way it just.
There's that one I came up with, True Cubes on Amazon, and you get 4 balls.
That's
not best. They also have individual. Oh, this is a 2-pack of silicone molds.
Yeah, that's what I have. I have silicone Death Star molds.
$12.
Yeah.
I don't really use
And
ice
you
or
get 2.
anything, so I don't even have. I think I have an ice tray with 6 little ice cubes, and I don't even put that in the fridge most of the time. Freezer most of the time.
So Sparky uses an old Flintstone glass from McDonald's back in the day
Hey,
for.
I understand this. Those
special
Flintstone
things.
cups and glasses are pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have a frosted Lord of the Rings one I use once in a while. That's fancy.
I have
a
a
plate you put on the bottom and it lights up.
I have like a McVote for Mayor McCheese 1988 McDonald's glass that I well, it's funny. I found it at a flea market, and of course you find like an old McDonald's glass at a flea market. It's $5 at most, probably.
Yeah, no, those are cool. Those are cool.
I'll probably ask 5, say I'll give you 3, sold, done. And the reason I bought this glass at the flea market was because we had one just like it growing up, and I don't even know where we got it from because it showed up in our cabinet after '88. So someone was given this from somewhere, and it was just one that was just in our regular rotation on the for meals and dinner or whatever. And so I just had it's like, oh, I remember that glass. We had that.
Yours did a reverse steal on you.
What's that?
Maybe a friend of yours actually did a secret reverse steal.
That could be.
Basically, instead of stealing it, they give it to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know how it ended up in the house.
I mean, I remember the jelly jars. Those are pretty cool. I used to love those jelly jars. We used to have a whole set of them.
Someone probably just gave it to my mom, and she threw it in the cabinet, and then it's like, oh, where did that come from? I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me pour some Kool-Aid in that. Remember Sharkleberry Fin?
Okay.
They still make Sharkleberry Fin.
What is that?
That was a flavor of Kool-Aid. Sharkleberry Fin. It was pink.
eBay glasses.
Let me see if I can buy Sharkleberry Fin.
Are you buying Kool-Aid? I mean, I know you buy the Ecto Cooler, but some Sharkleberry Fin.
You can buy packets of Sharkleberry Fin powder packets off of Amazon.
Well, there you go.
We might have to. They still make Sharkleberry Fin. I wonder if it still tastes like it did, though. I wonder if I even remember it right. I just remember that was one of my favorites.
So this is a case where you drank the Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah, no, we drank lots of Kool. We drank all the Kool-Aid growing up. The Berry Blue, Purplesaurus Rex, Crocodile Red, Sharkleberry Fin.
Purplesaurus Rex wasn't that good. I hate grape.
I think my brother liked the Purplesaurus Rex, but I don't think it was because he liked grape. I think it was just because he liked dinosaurs.
Did you judge him on this?
A little. Well, I judged him on lots of things. Probably that's the least of what I.
I mean, I wasn't allowed to make the Kool-Aid. I make the Kool-Aid, but I turned it into sugar swill, and people said I don't want that. But I had no problem drinking it.
If I was going to judge my brother on something, it'd be the time that he decided to express his displeasure with me by blowing his nose on my shirt.
Nice.
Still not as bad as the Superman, but
pretty close.
I mean, if he, if he stuck a bed sheet to it to continue it and said there.
Yeah, return the favor. Here's the bed sheet. You can play Superman.
Yeah, no.
Wipes out his back and sticks a pillowcase to it. There, you're Superman. Enjoy.
Now, Sparky sent us a link to those Flintstone glasses. We had those.
Yeah.
Those are cool because they're like little mugs, and they got the frosted glass. Oh yeah. Oh, if I saw those at a flea market, I'd probably buy those. And then, not that I have much room in my cabinet.
Are you sharing a photo of it?
I could.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Let me just bring it up in the right browser.
Or the left browser.
Let's so yeah, it's these see if I get it to open up the it won't open up the pictures in their own thing, but there you are. The little short one and a taller one. I think this is from the Flintstones movie with John Goodman and Rick Moranis. And,
that's a great movie.
And what's her face? With the Kushball gun at the...
Tina Fey.
No, she had the talk show, the Kushball gun. Rosie O'Donnell. And I forget who played Wilma.
Yeah. She did a great Wilma. You cannot deny that
one. No.
She did an excellent Wilma.
She did Betty.
Betty, you mean. Yeah,
but
she did
I forget
Betty.
who did Wilma.
But yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah. Well, that was good because that was they also brought back the McRib to tie in with the Flintstones movie. And I haven't had me a McRib in a long time.
Are they out again?
I think they were. Maybe I had some when traveling at some point, but it's been a while. I think they had them in this past year, and I might have had one or two.
We also had a bunch of the glasses from A&W because they used to sell the really thick wall glasses for a while. Or you'd eat at the restaurant and people would just take them home with them. I mean, not like we would do that, of course, but never mind.
Yeah. Let's see.
A&W mugs are great. I love those things.
The film stars John Goodman as Fred Flintstone, Rick Moranis as Barney Rubble, Elizabeth Perkins as Wilma Flintstone.
Okay.
And Rosie O'Donnell as Betty Rubble.
Yeah.
And Holly Berry is Sharon as Sharon Stone.
She was the secretary. Remember?
Yeah, Elizabeth Taylor as Pearl Slaghoople, Wilma's mother.
Mm-hmm.
The B-52s performed their version of the cartoon's theme song.
Yeah, I remember that too.
I haven't seen that in a long time. I don't know. That's a movie I probably saw bits and pieces of on the TV when we rented it or something. But I don't think
in the theaters.
I don't think I ever sat down and watched that fully from beginning to end.
No, Brian's outdoors. It's just an illusion.
What?
I said, he said.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
No, he's got a bad green screen set up.
He feels like they've been lied to, Brian.
Mookie's been lied to. You need
Sorry.
to go. Well, we have talked about shooting our next promo outdoors in Brian's backyard.
Brian's backyard.
Yeah. We'll all show up there when the mandarins are ready for eating, and we'll steal the mandarins off his tree while he tries to stop us, and we'll film that as our promo. Now, there's a small flaw with this because now, Brian, when do you typically pick the mandarins off your tree?
Someplace around November, December.
Yeah, I don't really see November, December being a good time for me to travel out there to rob you of your mandarins. So we might have to, like, stage this. And so I figure maybe we'll make a promo of us trying to make a promo by trying to duct tape grocery store mandarins onto your mandarin tree in April or something like that.
Are we duct taping stuff to Brian's tree?
Well, he'll probably try to stop us because it's probably not good for the tree.
But what if we use the blue painter's tape stuff?
What if we tape him to his lemon tree and say it's the mandarin tree? Because if we cause
that's right, it's a taller tree anyway.
It's a taller
It's
tree.
about 6 foot tall.
And would it pass as a mandarin tree on a black and white film?
Sure.
Sure. With
Actually, in
mandarins
fact,
taped to it?
if it has lemons on it, then yeah, this is a.
Am I allowed to climb your tree, Brian?
Will the lemon tree have lemons on it in like springtime or summertime?
Maybe. Oh no. So what we'll do is, like, as soon as they start coming out, I'll let you know, and then by the time you get here, they'll be ready.
I don't know. This is more of a in the joke phase before. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, our Sears promo is getting old. We might want to think about, not that we really need or use a promo.
What we could do is go up to Concord and go to the Sears that's still open.
Oh,
at the Sun Valley Mall.
If it stays open long enough.
I thought it would have been closed by the end of December, but no, it's still open.
And then I can walk there using the camera light on a really long extension cord and get us all kicked out of the store for bringing a train headlight into the store and filming.
The hell is this?
No, you don't understand.
Either that the one employee that's working there is going to say, I don't give a shit, and just let us go.
You don't understand. A few years ago when we did this, we had Sears brand film. So that's why we don't have any Sears brand film now.
Do you
have
any food?
Well, you could always lie. Yeah, but we're using Sears brand film.
I could just bring the Sears film box with me and say it's the box for the roll that's in the camera.
Wow, that breaks the immersion.
Did Sears ever have movie cameras?
Well, I think they were Bell Howell rebranded with the Sears logo on them. I know.
Probably. Yeah, sure.
Our projector is branded as a Sears projector, but it's a Bell Howell, just with the Sears name
I'll
on
just
it. So the
search
Bell Howell.
for Sears Super 8, right?
Oh yeah, so they probably slapped their logo on a camera, but my guess would be it'd be a Bell Howell camera. But I have
not Super 8, it's Super 8.
I've yet to find another roll of Sears Super 8 film in the wild. I only ever found that one roll, and I wouldn't really want to go out of my way to buy more Sears film because that was one of the worst looking rolls of film I ever processed. It barely produced a recognizable picture.
Here's one for $15. Sears Super 8. Easy load movie camera with pistol grip.
That sounds like the one I used. It was a Super 8 though.
So just to review, the roll of Sears film came out looking like this when we shot that in the closed film.
Oh, beautiful! Look at that.
There you are. There's Brian waving, and there's the Sears coming into view, pointing up at the. Look at that! It's a Sears, and there I am, also waving in front of the Sears, because this is what the. And I'm quite excited and energetic about the. And now there's all three of us. All three of us.
There you go.
Was Kristen shooting this one?
Yeah, Kristen shot that when all three of us are standing there.
Yeah, we look like idiots.
Yeah.
You know what? It's fine. It's Sears.
And then there I am filming Mars using the other camera, who's shooting because I had two of the Super 8 cameras, so that's me and Mars pointing our cameras at each other.
Oh, there are 7 of them that are listed as new.
It needs piano music.
That is what we put to it when we edited an actual promo together. Although I mostly used some of the fresh Tri-X film that came out much better. Just more shots of the Sears building that I'm shooting here. And there we are at the closed sign. Or no, private property, no trespassing sign, I think.
It's at a mall. How can you have private Oh, no, that's the wrong one.
Yeah.
That's over at the, yeah.
And there's the security guard that came by as we were getting ready to leave.
They just wanted to say hi.
I don't know if that was just his regular shift to walk by, or if someone actually sent him to walk by there to investigate the people that were seeing the parking lot with cameras doing some silly things.
The problem is there's a college across the street, so
they
honestly they shouldn't be that too upset. But
no, they shouldn't be. But no, Mookie writing in, Roebuck was nowhere to be found. Here we are driving away on 880. Little
880 footage there. That's
little road footage. And there's where we found that dead end nearby. Because then we went over to the Tharco building for a bit. And there we are at the side outside of the Tharco building that has been torn down. And
they wouldn't let me climb the fence.
Yeah. Well, the sign had the basically the company information taken out of it, so it was just a blank sign. And then there we are, using up the rest of the film at the La Quinta sign, which is basically just shooting the rest of the film to use it as test strips when I would try to figure out if I could process it. And that's about as good of an image as I could get out of this. So that was doing a reversal processing with D19 fluid, which is a high contrast developer. So that helps get something out of it.
And to think that box was in my fridge next to the sour cream.
But so that was that. Let's see, and then of course we had the. I did shoot some color footage. It came out very blue though. That actually some of the stuff that was inside the flower, the gardens.
The mechanicals.
Yeah, that came out all right. The conservatory, yeah. That came out, but I color balanced it for this footage. But when it's outdoor, it comes out very blue. But I probably should just color balance the outdoor stuff differently. The lighting was better for this film inside the conservatory than it was outside. And then there's bars with the other camera again.
My excellent footage there. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's almost straight, I'm sure. It's almost straight.
And Brian had his camera taking some pictures.
AI fixed my film. Thank you.
All right.
And up there's Brian giving us a little wave. And there's Brian taking some more pictures out in the... this was at the tea garden.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, some of these shots came out all right.
Well, outdoors is better, right?
Yeah. Although that I was, I must have had to bang the camera there to get it to. There you all are, kind of hanging out, talking a bit. The Buddha statue. Yeah. Now this came out a bit saturated into the blue.
AI, fix the colors. You don't know, man. One of these days you'll be able to go, oh yeah, let me just fix these colors real quick. Boom, there.
Well, what's really cool is you could take a frame and save a single frame as a picture, and then put it into Photoshop and have Photoshop do like its auto color correcting thing.
Yeah.
And then Vegas actually has a plugin that you can apply to your video that you tell it, this is the reference picture. This is what I want the picture to look like. So you take like the frame that you saved and the color corrected one, and basically say whatever changes there are between these two, apply that amount of change to the entire movie. And I found that that was quite helpful because I shot a roll. What you can easily buy is you can buy colored negative film for the Super 8 camera, which means that you have to scan it in and invert it in the scan. But color negative film has the orange mask on it, and the high quality film scanners will have features built in to remove or accommodate for the orange masking. But I got one of those really cheap scanners that doesn't do it. It's more for DIY home movie conversion, so it's meant to work with positive film, not negative. So I have to. That's when my and Vegas doesn't have a orange mask filter feature built in, so because that's supposed to be done in the scan. So I've used the Photoshop trick to fix that.
Oh yeah, there were a bunch of film we had when I was a little kid, and things were like super dark, and there's like big orange splotches everywhere. And I did it on a scan. I did it in a scanner and used Photoshop 7. That's how old it was. Photoshop 7. I go auto fix, and people are like, "What these? Wow." So then my dad. The problem with that is, and showing them what Photoshop could do, they go, here's a pile of film. Your job is to, and I'm like, oh, that isn't what I wanted, but thank you.
Well,
you go, well, yeah, but okay, so this took 8 hours to process. I could do it, but I'll charge you some money.
What's that?
It's your family. I wouldn't do that, Brian.
But
it was your family.
Yeah,
but
I would charge family.
But I had a I don't have the negatives, but I guess my parents had a 110 camera at some point in time.
Yeah.
Before my dad bought the Nikon.
Are those the little bitty cameras? Those little teeny ones?
I've never seen this camera. I don't even know what it looks like.
Yeah, the 110 cameras are pretty small. Yes.
Yeah.
I have one of those little teeny ones.
But
you just
the only reason I know my parents have it is because there are some negatives from that in with all the family photos. And one thing I figured out was that my parents, when they bought the 35 millimeter camera sometime in 1982, they started using that camera right away and didn't finish the roll of film that was in the 110 camera. So it's at some point in 1982, the 110 camera got put away with half a roll of film shot. They found the camera in 1984. They shot the rest of the roll and got it developed. And those pictures have always been tinted pink because since it sat for 2 years in the camera, the color shifted. And I don't have scans with the pink tinting. I corrected them on the scan. But here, let me show you. Here are the color-corrected images. You probably wouldn't even know that they were tinted pink when I scanned them in. So this is me with my mom on Easter 1982. But you see, you don't notice any pink tint.
You're the small person, though.
Yeah. Well, it's 1982. So,
right.
But yeah, the actual prints are tinted pink. But man, the color correction scanning them in really cleaned them up. They just look like normal photos. There I am doing a little Easter egg hunt, and there I am with a little Easter gift. And there we are at a Yankee game.
You got Easter gifts, not just chocolate?
Yeah, a little present in the basket. I don't remember what it was, but they gave me a little gift. I don't know.
Spoiled child.
Yankees game.
Yeah, there I am at the Yankees game. And
right.
There's me and my brother in the swimming pool. So
that Yankees game, who won the game?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
You didn't even care.
I don't even remember this game. I don't remember this at all.
All right.
But I got my Yankees pajamas on.
So you had red hair then?
The color might still be a little off. No, it's more to the blondish brownish type of.
Okay.
I mean, I
thought you and your mom were redheads. Now that definitely looks brown.
Yeah. Now this picture still looks a little off with the color. This is probably the worst picture of the pack.
It's
the color
pretty good though.
Is a bit, but yeah, it's much better than the original with the pink tinting. But yeah, these These look pretty normal, and you wouldn't recognize this if I brought out the print. It is just such a pink. I mean, have you seen prints that came out pink because the film expired?
No.
You've never seen that happen. Okay. If I had them nearby, I'd show you the original prints, but they're in a box somewhere. But this is us just using up the rest of the film in 1984, shooting us in the swimming pool. So.
Yeah, I remember my
Very
one-time
cool.
camera had a little flip-up thing. It was just a plastic square for the finder, and then it had a keychain thing on the side. They were that small.
So Sparky wants me to scroll back to one of the pictures. He thinks there might have been a safe or something where I was grabbing the Easter egg. No. Oh no, that's a speaker. Is what that is. Let me bring that back up. Or Sparky actually sent the link. Let me just confirm.
Sparky added a link for you.
Yeah, that is a port on a that is a sound design speaker straight out of the 70s. That's like the port on the front of the speaker. It also has like the sound design SD logo in the middle of that over the port there. Yeah, let me present again. But yeah, that's what that is. That's one of the two speakers to the sound design stereo that we had at the time.
And that's why you became an audiophile.
Oh, the sound design speakers?
Well, it wasn't the greatest speaker, but it... oh, for fuck's sakes! I'm trying to move the picture, not advance it. But yeah, see, that's got the SD logo in the middle there.
Yeah, nice blur, nicely blurred.
Yeah,
zoom in, enhance.
And grainy. Yeah.
And grainy.
Yeah. But you can kind of make out when I tell you it's the SD logo. If you've seen the Sound Design SD logo, you can kind of see it in there. But yeah, wish I still had those speakers.
75p. Well, you can probably find those online somewhere.
Not easily. No, I have yet to find a sound design receiver of the same model as the one that we had. I found a set of the speakers that had the SD emblem fallen off of them. Actually,
but that's the most important part of it.
I think I found a set of speakers eventually. It's just that when you find a set of speakers like that on eBay, the shipping is ridiculous. So it's not really. It's hard to justify buying.
Find one that's local and then pay for the shipping anyway.
You know, Facebook Marketplace right there.
That is an option. Actually, there's a set of nicer speakers than those right now on eBay that I could show you that look kind of like them. So let me just bring that into.
If you were going to buy speakers today, what would you get? Modern today speakers.
I don't know. I've been
Macintosh?
Well, if price was no object.
I mean, it's owned by Bose now, though. I can't remember. Was Bose the one that bought them out?
Bought who out? Sound Design?
No, Macintosh.
Macintosh. Oh, that's right. Oh, fuck. Someone bought them. But right now...
What, Macintosh speaker or the whole company?
The whole company.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah,
I missed that.
Well, Macintosh was... I think they were owned by a group that owned Denon and Marantz, but I think that kind of split off at some point. Mm-hmm. But there was some talk of Harman buying them, but that didn't happen. But now I think so there's been some. I guess there has been talk in times of possibly selling, and I guess that's happened. Because they're just a small company that builds all their stuff in-house in Binghamton, New York.
I saw that. I was like, oh, poor Gators.
And I mean, that's some high-quality stuff.
There could be no highs, no lows anymore on your Macintoshes.
I mean, they have like this vat of tar to make their own transformer with all the plates held together. I mean, it was interesting to see how they built all these parts themselves and do all this stuff, to last long and be high quality. No one else really does it like that. What was I going to show? I was going to show. So this is a similar model speaker to the speakers in that.
You have to really drill into Macintosh to find when it was bought out by Bose, which was just November of 2024. So that's frickin' just happened.
The speakers that I have don't quite have the triple pattern on underneath them. It's so I think these speakers are wider than but a very similar model to. But you can see clearly that it's got that SD logo on them. But $120 or best offer, plus $72 shipping from Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh. Well,
So that is a good question. Who should we raid? God, you know what? There was something that we learned today. I know what we learned today. All right, so we need to figure out who to raid. But while we're doing that, we want to, again, remind everyone that you've been listening to another fun-filled edition of...
Insert title here.
But we do try to be educational here. So, Brian, what have you learned this week?
What was it? Hang on a second. That you really wanted to install WSL and your favorite version of Linux at work.
I've already done that.
Yeah, that's exactly. And Mars, what have you learned?
I learned you can make clear ice from balls, and you can buy the machine without a tariff.
Yay!
And I learned that there are many different definitions for the Superman.
Do we really want to learn that? That's the question.
And now I got to be careful whenever someone jokes about the Superman before I start referencing sheets to make sure they're talking about the same Superman that I'm talking about. All right.
You just pull up Urban Dictionary on your phone. Which one did you mean?
Which Superman we talking about now? We talking about the sheet thing, or we talking about the legs up in the air thing? Yeah. And Sparky also was saying, I learned something, but I forgot what it was. And then he read, oh, that was it, Johnny. Superman. Learned about the Superman. All right. Now, we could try again to raid Tired Actor, but Tired Actor seems to have blocked raiding. That's not worked the last few times we've tried it. But just to see if she turned it off, because I would love to give her a raid if she would take a raid. But nope. Channel this channel has follower or subscriber only chat. Oh, so it is going to let us raid, but you can only chat if you... Oh, it's going to let us raid. All right.
Yay.
So we're going to go raid Tired Actor, and we'll be back here next week with more ChatGPT updates maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. I told Microsoft everything ChatGPT taught me. It's their move now. So next round, we see if Microsoft fights back.
Maybe they'll fight back and says, what are you using ChatGPT for? You should be using Copilot.
Because you failed me for 2 months. That's why. And
that's a different group.
Oh, I did have some conference room issues, and I'm getting a visit from a tech tomorrow. So we have that story to look forward to next week. All right. Good night.
Yay.
And we have rated
A bread and ketchup sandwich, or a cheese and ketchup sandwich, or just ketchup.